You must have noticed a fascinating trend emerging in the world today, which is that things are happening that would have been unimaginable in the latter part of the 2010s. When political correctness was first introduced to the internet, saying anything related to the red pill felt like you were breaking the law. However, it appears that times have changed. I mean, just take a look at Andrew Tate and how quickly he rose to fame. It is obvious that there are a lot of guys out there who like the message and feel the same way that he does. It doesn't happen overnight. The only way to amass such a large fan base is to build on top of an existing movement and leverage its supporter group. By the grace of God, red pillars have amassed a following that numbers in the millions. Now, Andrew Tate is not the only one doing this. Now we have men like Imam Ghazi and Hamza, as well as many of the gurus who are coming out of the woodwork and preaching about female nature and masculinity. Things have changed. The red pill movement has taken over as hunch up on the internet, and more guys are adhering to its principles. These are things that the gurus of old would never have imagined doing. For those of you who are new to the red pill movement as well as the other watchers, allow me to explain why the red pill movement has been so successful on a global scale. Now, if you are an experienced user of the red pill, you are aware that something like this was always going to occur. The first explanation is a little bit controversial because I've never heard anyone say that before, but I think it makes sense that red pill only used to exist in the corners of the internet because it was primarily a Western movement. However, now that the internet is becoming more and more accessible worldwide, guys from all different parts of the world are becoming exposed to it. In the 2000s, only wealthy people living outside of the West could afford computers and phones. I believe that they made a significant contribution to the movement known as the red pill. These guys are coming up from the bottom, and they understand what the movement preaches because they weren't born all blessed and rich. Now we have guys coming up from all walks of life. Therefore, they can identify with a lot of different aspects of this movement, and when you combine that with the fact that people in the third world generally aren't as feministically obsessed as those in the West, you can see why they support our message. But even if we remove this variable, the most important reason for the success of red pills will always be that its message is powerful. The product is a comprehensive guide that resonates with a significant number of men in the world. It is not like feminism in any way because it is a movement that is grounded in reality. Everything about it comes from experience as well as a deeper understanding of evolutionary biology and human nature. It's not like the current transgender and other political movements. It makes sense. It's not trying to lead humanity somewhere that doesn't make sense for us. It's not agreeing with our nature. And finally, the fact that it's relatable may help explain why it's happening. When we think of any kind of support movement or pop culture movement, the world has become very feminine and women-centric in focus. Even the hobbies and pastimes that we have created for ourselves, such as watching shows, playing games, and reading books to pass the time, are never led by men because they are always dominated by women. There is nothing inherently masculine about these activities, and while there is nothing wrong with engaging in them, men in the past did not spend all of their free time engaging in these pursuits. Instead, men are defined by their desire to engage in risky endeavors and collaborate with others. They enjoy constructing things and establishing dominance, both of which are essential components that are lacking in modern society because these components are no longer present. There are almost no simple guides left, let alone pure and ruggedly masculine men from any point in time before. There were men like these in every town street, and Denali, your grandfather, was one of them. These guys had lived a full life, and as a result, the guidance they provided made perfect sense. Unfortunately, none of those role models are found anywhere in the educational system. We have intellectually inclined counselors and physical education teachers who, in addition to spending all day studying and reading books, are physically incapable of running even 1 mile. There's almost another personal development, no motivation to take up habits that make men happy, no guidance for young guys to learn something, help in transition from a boy to a man, but the mentorship doesn't end with young guys. Even many old guys out there are lost in life. There's almost another personal development, no motivation to take up habits that make men happy, no guidance for young guys to learn something, help in transition from a boy to a man, but there's almost another personal. Some guys are unable to get out of relationships that they do not want. One guy cried in front of his girlfriend, and she dumped him as a result. Now he is furious, hurt, and unable to comprehend how a woman who loved him for 3 years could do this to him. Then there are the veterans who saw their life savings dwindle as a result of their marriages. These men are currently living in substandard housing and are perplexed as to why their lives have taken such a turn for the worse. The red pill represents the middle ground for all of these men. It is the ultimate bridge and mentor for men in the 21st century. It is a place for men who have learned the truth, who have understood the true nature of females and the modern legal system, and who want to teach young guys, but more than that, they want young guys to embrace their masculinity. It is a place for men who have learned the truth and who have understood the real nature of females and the modern legal system. In his heart, every young man harbors this desire, but he does not know how to achieve it because he has been taught that traditional masculine qualities are harmful in today's society and should not be embraced there. The red pill will get him out of this rut and teach him how to lift weights and take care of himself. Deep down, however, he wants a place where he can release his aggression and embrace his sexuality. The red pill will teach him how to do both of these things. Concentrate on something more important than spending all day looking at pretty girls. Once he's done all of that, he'll be able to learn about the real nature of women. However, we don't want this to terrify him or cause him to despise women. We would like to make it clear to him that regardless of what women may say, this is how they will actually behave, this is how they will actually treat you, this is how she will evaluate you, and all of this is going to take place. If you want to be successful with women, you need to understand what women really want. Otherwise, you could end up like one of those guys who got burned by a woman for guys who are already in a relationship. If you want to be successful with women, you need to understand what women really want. They are able to become the dominant person in the relationship and embrace their masculine side as a result of taking the red pill. In this way, we are assisting men in realizing their full potential and teaching them what they are capable of. This is the interim goal we have set for ourselves. The other thing that needs to be done is to inform them about things like divorce laws, harassment cases, rape accusations, and jail time until we can gather a large number of followers. These are things that every man needs to be aware of so that he does not fall victim to them in today's society, where the courts are very biased and a woman's word is given more weight than a man's. The only thing a woman needs to do to destroy a man's entire life and career is to falsely accuse him of doing something that he did not do or cheat on her husband. In doing so, she will destroy both his emotional state and his financial situation simultaneously, leaving him with nothing. These are experiences that have been had by real men in the past, and we want to share them with other men to wake them up and let them know that what has happened to other men can also happen to them. Therefore, you should exercise caution and move cautiously until we have amassed such a large number of supporters that we hold a political majority. We have a responsibility to educate men about the realities of this world, and we have a desire to educate men about how the world actually works and the problems that exist in the modern world. Today, Twitter seizes any chance it gets to normalize something, and while it may be difficult to determine what, exactly, constitutes normal in the midst of all this insanity, you can always rely on the red pill to point you in the right direction. Degeneracy on the internet was stigmatized for a reason, but if society as a whole will not understand, things will continue to be the way they are. Things that are not normal are the way they are for a reason. It is essential that you do you and every other young man out there who wants to do something better with his life and make his ancestors proud when there is a movie with this level of common sense and reason that is available out there for free and is simple to access for every man. It is not surprising that it is gaining popularity at a rapid rate. However, if we keep our fingers crossed and wait for the red pill to be brought up in serious debates, there is a chance that we will be able to effect positive change in the world and rescue the Western world from the insanity of modern times.